Welcome back. Previously, we were discussing about quantitative techniques and its classification, and we were discussing in detail the category of programming technique or operation research technique. So, let us discuss some of the tools that comes under the same category. Next one, dynamic programming. It is a technique which is applied to solve certain problem by dividing the total problem into a number of subsidiary problems. The concept regarding this technique is that the business might be facing one problem and it might be of great importance as far as business operation is concerned, and decision regarding solving that particular problem is of great importance because any miscalculated decision may lead to ultimate loss. So instead of solving or dealing an important issue relating to a business as a whole, let us divide that problem into some more smaller problems. For example, a decision regarding where to set a plant and premises can be segregated into how to identify a place, where can I set a plant and premises, what are the sources from which I can identify a plant and premises, what should be the size. So instead of deciding the entire problem as a whole, it is better to divide one problem into number of subsidiary problems so it can be dealt accordingly. That is the concept of dynamic program. Next one, integer program. It is a technique of solving the linear programming problem. We have discussed about linear programming, non-linear programming previously. So it is a technique of solving linear programming problems in which the solution values are expressed in whole numbers. Usually its concept can be easily understood through an example. Since it is not a part of our syllabus, we are not going further into that area. Actually, it's a part of a linear programming. In integer programming, the values are represented in whole numbers. Every type of problem we will be dealing with variables, and variables may be represented in numbers, and numbers may be positive numbers, negative numbers, odd numbers, even numbers, and whole numbers. So if the solution values are expressed in whole numbers, that method of solving the problem is known as integer program. It's actually a higher level education area. We will be dealing with this area in the higher studies. For right now, just understand the concept of integer program. Next one, branch and bound technique. This is a recently developed technique which is designed to solve combinational problems of decision making where there are large number of feasible solutions. For example, let the combination problem be problem of plant location, problems of traveling salesman, and problem of determining minimum cost of production. All these are the examples of combinational problems because all these problems can be solved with a number of feasible solutions. So your duty is to select the best solution that suits the situation. So let us go with another method, quadratic programming. I hope you all know the concept of quadratic equation. We have dealt this area in detail in the previous semester, so I am not going further into the quadratic programming. Quadratic programming is a technique designed to solve certain problems, the objective function of which takes the form of a quadratic equation containing squared item. We all know the equation for finding the quadratic equation. The concept is just substitute the necessary values in the concerned equation so that you will get the required results. That is the concept of quadratic programming. Next one, parametric programming. It is a technique designed to solve problems consisting of more than one objective function with varying degree of priorities. You may not get an idea regarding that because it's a newly evolved concept and it's directly related with the research related problems. We usually use parametric dealings in research studies. We will discuss in detail about the parametric programming in the same subject, and at that time we will discuss the concept of parametric programming and the problems that has to be dealt in the parametric programming. And finally, Markov process. It is a newly evolved technique that comes under the programming technique that helps the management in taking decisions whenever they deal with various issues pertaining to the current business environment. Next one, functions of QT or functions of quantitative techniques. Various functions of quantitative techniques are: first one, facilitating the process of decision making. As we have been explaining the same point again and again, all these concepts help the management in taking decisions. Next one, providing tool for scientific research. Previously we discussed three major classification of quantitative techniques, and in each of the classification we have come across some of the tools that are used for research study. So quantitative techniques provide tools for scientific research. Enabling the proper deployment of resources. As I have mentioned earlier, QT helps the management in taking decisions, and decisions relating to the management usually depends upon either to maximize profit or to minimize cost. And in order to achieve these two objectives, organization has to properly utilize the scarce available resources. So QT or quantitative techniques helps the management in proper deployment of scarce resources. Next one, helping to capital resource allocation. Every business needs capital to run the business, and the QT helps the organization in identifying the various sources from which capital can be raised and proper allocation for the same can be maintained. Next one, helps in choosing an optimal strategy. We have come across numerous tools that can be used by the management in taking decisions, and QT helps the management or the concerned organization in choosing an optimal strategy. Optimal strategy means the best option that can be taken so as to deal with the current prevailing issues, because every problem has solutions, and in order to apply that solution and earn maximum profit or minimize cost is to select the best solution. It is up to the management to choose the best optimal strategy. Next one, helps in minimizing of cost and waiting services. We have learned this area while dealing with queuing theory. So QT helps in minimizing cost of waiting and services. Usually waiting and services related to customers. Next one, aiding in determining the optimal sequence of performing a set of jobs. As I have mentioned earlier, there are a number of tools. Their ultimate objective is either maximize profit or minimum cost. And QT helps the organization in determining the optimal sequence of performing a set of jobs so as to earn maximum profit or minimize cost. So these are the major functions of QT. And QT can be applied into various types of decision making problems relating to a variety of fields such as business, industry, economics, politics, social and physical science. Apart from these subjects, this QT can be applied in almost all areas irrespective of its nature and concept. The ultimate objective of QT is assist whoever in taking decision making. That is the concept of QT. Next one, QT and business management. How it is related to our area of operation. Quantitative techniques render valuable services in the field of business management. They are helpful to the production management, personal management, marketing management, and financial management. It provides business executives an understanding about the business operations. So these are the various areas that comes under quantitative technique. We will discuss about the further cases in the next session.